Hello friends, welcome to Misty Moon Designs. My name is Louisa. I'm super excited today because we're going to be opening up the GGC Treasure Bag, the latest release, and then we're going to make a quick project with some of the contents of that bag. Now if you're not familiar with the GGC Treasure Bag, I'll leave some information down below in the description section of this video, along with a link to the website in case you're interested. And don't forget that I always model my jewelry at the end of my tutorials, so please stick around for that. Also, if you want to skip straight to the project, I'm going to leave some timestamps down below as well. After we take a look at the contents, we're going to make these gorgeous ocean-themed earrings, which feature sparkly crystal dangles, just the right touch of sparkle to dress up any outfit. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced jewelry maker, my step-by-step tutorial will walk you through everything you need to create these earrings. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at the contents of the GGC Treasure Bag, and then we'll jump into this project. And here we have the GGC Treasure Bag, the latest release. It came out a little over a week ago. And if you're not familiar with these bags, they usually make them in 2 color selections. So the name of this collection is Flowers and Shells, as you can see. But this one is the Sophisticated Collection, and I believe the other one's called the Demure Collection. I know this one's in grayish tones, and the other one's in peachy colored tones. So that's really nice that you get 2 options. You can buy one or the other or both. And by the way, this is not a subscription. It's a limited edition bag. It sells for $45 plus shipping and handling, and this one came out a little over a week ago. Now I know this one is still available on the website, but the other one I think is sold out already. And the reason they sell out so quickly is because number 1, you get a lot of beads, and number 2, it's a limited edition. So what I recommend that you do is to go to the website and sign up for notifications, so the next time they get ready to release a bag, you'll be notified. So anyway, let's go ahead and see what's in the bag. Wow, look at all these beautiful items. What a nice combination, the gold with the grayish tones. It does look sophisticated, doesn't it? And it looks like they've changed the packaging a little bit. They've kind of grouped things together. In this bag, I think we have the charms or the pendants all in one bag. And then we have some loose beads in this one. And this one has the strands. And some of the strands are bagged and some are not. Let's pull it all out. It looks like they have the crystals in the bags, and then these other strands are not bagged. I'm guessing because crystals can be a little bit sharp sometimes. Well, not sharp, but they have edges that could rub against these other beads. So that makes a lot of sense. But anyway, let me get organized and we'll go through all these items. Here are the first 5 strands. There are 10 strands in this month's box, and some of them are super long. They really are. I think the longest is 22 inches. But anyway, let's take a look at this one. This is a strand of glass pearl beads, and these measure 6 millimeters in size, and it's a 15-inch strand, and the color is gray. Look at the luster in these beads. It's so gorgeous, and they're pretty good quality too. You can tell by the holes that they're good quality. There's no chipping or anything around the holes. And here we have a strand of dyed freshwater shell beads in the color slate gray, and they're oval shaped, as you can see. They measure 9 by 6 millimeters, and this is a 15-inch strand. I like this color because I'm seeing some earth tones as well, which is nice, and it should coordinate really well with the gold pendants. These really have a nice shimmer too. I love them. And here we have a strand of electroplated oval glass beads. They're black, but they have a gold frame, as you can see, or a gold edge. Really, really pretty. And these measure 7 by 4.5 by 3.5 millimeters. And it's a 13-inch strand. What I like about these is that they almost look like table cut beads from a certain angle. You can see that effect as I move the beads. Really, really nice. And here we have a strand of electroplated glass beads. They're faceted and they're round, and the color is light gray. They measure 4 millimeters, and this is a 16-inch strand. These have a lot of sparkle. Very, very pretty. These are called triangle nugget beads, and they measure 4 by 4 by 4 millimeters. And they are glass beads. They're opaque, and the color is black. And this is an 11.5-inch strand. These also have quite a bit of sparkle, as you can see. I really like these. Let me get the next 5 strands. Can you believe the sparkle I'm not sure if that's called double plating. I think that's what it's called, just because it sparkles a lot more than other crystals that I've seen. Of course, this one doesn't because it's shell beads. Let's take a look at this one. This one's really amazing looking. I mean, look at these facets. They're so pretty. These are called column beads, and they're electroplated, and it's a mix of black, gray, clear, and I'm even seeing a little bit of purple, or maybe it's the electroplating, I'm not sure. But anyway, they measure 7 by 3.5 millimeters, and it's an 18-inch strand. I'm gonna have a lot of fun with these. And here we have some more tiny beads with an amazing sparkle as well. Look at that. These are faceted, and they're called star-cut beads. Of course, they're electroplated, but the crystal is clear and the electroplating is black. And these measure 4 by 3 millimeters, and it's a 12.5-inch strand. What an amazing sparkle these have as I move my hands. And here we have some larger beads. These measure 8 by 5 millimeters, and they're called Faceted Flat Rondelles, and that's because they're flat on the top and bottom, as you can see. And once again, I'm seeing some gorgeous sparkle. The color of the crystal is light gray, and this is a 22-inch strand. So you're getting lots and lots of beads. And here we have some amazing English cut rounds. Once again, the color of the crystal is gray, and these are also electroplated. They measure 6 millimeters in size, and this is a 20-inch strand. These are going to look really beautiful paired with these here, because they're the same color. These are called Hishi shell beads. It sounds like a bit of a tongue twister. But anyway, these measure 6 millimeters in size, and because they're Hishi beads, there are lots of beads on the strand. They do vary in widths, as you can see. Some are thicker and some are thinner, which I like. And this is an 8-inch strand. We have different shades of gray as well. Some of the grays are cool tones and some are warm tones. Really, really nice. But look at this, guys. They did such a great job of curating the colors. The colors, the finishes, and the shapes and sizes as well. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the loose beads. Well, I had to swap out my decor since there's black in this collection, plus flowers, as you can see, hence the name Flowers and Shells. But anyway, it looks like we have some seed beads, and I love these. It looks like they have a little gold drizzled on the surface. And here we have a bunch of crystals. Let me take some of these out and put them on a tray. These are Toho beads and they're size 8.0, and it looks like they're gray colored, but they're silver lined. But to me, it looks like a very warm tone of silver, which again is going to coordinate with the gold findings and the gold pendants. It's really hard to tell though. I can't really tell, but I'm definitely seeing a warm tone of silver. I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but anyway, there are 10 grams of seed beads. Let me put them back in here. I'm going to slide some of these onto one of my rods. Here I have 8 of them. There's a total of 30. These measure 8 millimeters in size. They're baked glass beads. And like I said, they have a golden drizzle effect on the surface. And they are black. Very, very nice. These are going to look really pretty on a bracelet. You could even do like a men's bracelet because of the color. And let me show you how these are drilled. As you can see, they're drilled across the bottom. And there's a total of 6. They measure 11.5 by 11.5 by 8.5 millimeters. They're called synthetic carved coral flower beads. Of course, the challenge is going to be figuring out how to work them into some kind of design. But you can do seed beading, so the beads sit behind them. Or you can do wire wrapping. I've done that before. I love these. They're really, really nice. I like the detail. And let's take a look at these. As you can see, we have 4 different shapes, but there's actually 6 of each kind. As you can see, there's a whole bunch down there. We have 2 cubes in 2 different colors, and we have this large faceted bicone, and we have this column bead right here. The cube beads measure 8 millimeters across. The bicone measures 10 by 13 millimeters. And this column bead measures 7.5 by 11 millimeters. And once again, even though the color is gray on this one and this one, it's a very warm kind of gray. I love them. So they should look really nice with one of these pendants. So now let me arrange the pendants and we'll take a look at them. I am absolutely amazed at the number of pendants we get in this bag. It's unbelievable. Usually you might get 2 or 3 pendants at the most with other bead collections. I honestly have never seen so many pendants in one collection. And they're all metal alloy except for this one. This one's actually 18 karat gold plated. And how cute is this? It's listed as a flower connector or pendant, and that's a cubic zirconia in the middle. But anyway, it measures 30 by 30 by 4.5 millimeters. There's the back. I love that it's an open design. You can connect all kinds of things to the petals. You can connect strands or dangles, multiple strands even. Let's take a look at this one. It's a rose pendant, as you can see. There's the top. And there's the other side. It has a loop right there, so it actually hangs this way. And it measures 40 by 20 millimeters. Very, very nice. Let's take a look at this one. It's a shell pendant, and it measures 35 by 29 by 4.5 millimeters. And there's this side. You could definitely hang it this way as well. I can see hanging some beads inside there. And it measures 35 by 29 by 4.5 millimeters. Really, really nice. And let's take a look at this one. That looks like a real shell. It's listed as a natural sea shell pendant, and the sizes do vary, which is why it's not listed. And there's the inside of it. It has a loop. I love it. It looks like maybe 20 millimeters across, something like that. And here we have 3 shell pendants with a faux pearl inside. And I turned it this way so you could see the back side. But there's the pearl. The pearl looks like it might be 8 millimeters in size. And it has a lot of detail inside, as you can see. I love the big loop as well. And there's the back again. Nice and shiny. This one measures 20 by 20 by 8.5 millimeters. And since there are 3, you could make a pair of earrings and a necklace to match. And here we have 2 long shell beads. That's the back side and that's the inside. This one has a lot of detail inside as well. It measures 30 by 17 by 4 millimeters. There's the back side again. And we have a nice big loop. And it's a very shiny finish, as you can see. I really like these. This one's really cute. It's a trumpet shell with a faux pearl inside, and it's listed as a pendant, but it could also be a charm. It measures 21.5 by 11 by 8 millimeters. And there's the other side. And this one doesn't have a loop, but it's drilled. Let me show you. As you can see, it's drilled across the top, which means that you could slide it onto beading wire or attach a jump ring. I like it. Let's take a look at one of these sparkly pendants. Since there are 2, you could make a pair of earrings, and of course they can be used as pendants. These are so pretty, I'm almost tempted to just put them on chain and have them hang by themselves. They're so beautiful. They measure 18.5 by 20.5 by 4 millimeters, and the crystals are listed as rhinestones. There's the back. Really nice. I love them. And let's take a look at this one. This one is dyed jade, and of course the color is black. It has faceting, as you can see, and it has a brass edge with a very shiny finish. I like the nice big loop. There's the other side. It measures 25.5 by 16 by 6 millimeters. Really, really nice. So now we're going to take a look at the findings pack, and I like that they put them all in one bag like this. Let me clear my mat and I'll arrange them. So here are the last few items. We have some gorgeous bead caps, some curved tubes, and these multi-strand reducer components, plus quite a few toggle clasps. The clasps came in their own bag, and the rest of the items came in their own separate bag. I love these bead caps. I love the color of this gold. Here's some of them. There's a total of 15 bead caps, and I just looked at the listing, and the reason this gold is so pretty is because they're actually 14 karat gold plated bead caps, so that explains it. But anyway, they measure 7.5 millimeters, and they're listed as 4 petal bead caps, but each of the 4 petals have like a little scalloped effect at the tip. So they actually look more like 8 petal bead caps. In any case, they look very ornate. I love them. Really, really nice. I appreciate when they include 14 or 18 karat gold plated items. I love these tubes. These are so beautiful. These are actually 14 karat gold plated as well. And they're super, super shiny, as you can see. Look at that. Very delicate too. They measure 24.5 by 2 millimeters. I can see these on a dainty bracelet. Very, very nice. And there's a total of 6. I like these components. If you like multi-strand necklaces, this is the right component to use. You can't go wrong. It's much better than using jump rings or even closed rings. Some people like to attach multiple strands to a ring, and I've done it many times, but these actually sit a lot better on your chest and they don't flip around like rings do. And actually, I think I have them turned backwards because on this side we have some really nice cubic zirconias. Look at that. But anyway, these are also 18 karat gold plated. How cool is that? And they measure 17 by 9 by 2.5 millimeters. I love the sparkle of that zirconia. So pretty. Now these are golden tone alloy, but they're still very nice, and I like the size. Let's take a look. It's a nice size. Nice and small. I believe the ring measures 1/2 inch across. The bar portion may be more like 3/4 inch. But anyway, there are 6 sets. So there's plenty there to make several necklaces and bracelets. So now let me go ahead and arrange everything on my table, and we'll take a look at the whole collection. Well, here's the whole collection. I think it's a beautifully coordinated neutral collection with endless amounts of versatility, and that's because there's so much variety here. I think the mix of black, gray, silver, and gold is perfect for daytime or evening jewelry. And I'm not surprised that they called it Sophisticated Collection. It definitely is sophisticated. It's sophisticated and very, very sparkly. But we also have the shell beads, and we have lots of texture with these roses. And I've always liked combining gray tones with gold. In fact, I'm sure you've seen me use the color hematite in my craft wire. I use it quite often. What it does is it makes the gold stand out a lot. So I'm really looking forward to working with this collection. Now today we're going to do a very quick project, but I want you to come back and check my channel for future tutorials using the contents of this collection. And if you have some time, I'd love to hear your opinion. I'd love to know what your favorite strands are or your favorite beads. So now that we've taken a look at this beautiful collection, let's go ahead and jump into today's quick project. We're going to make a quick pair of earrings, and here are the materials we're going to use. Now I say quick, but that's only because I've already done the design work. They're easy to make, but the hardest part was figuring out how many links to use on each of these pieces of chain. Let me just show you. As you can see, each one of those beads is hanging on a piece of chain, and each piece is a different length. So that was the most difficult part. I had to figure out how many links for each piece of chain. But I've already done that part for you, so you don't have to worry about it. So they should be quick and easy to make as long as you use the exact chain that I'm using. I'm using cable chain, and it's 18 karat gold plated, and each of these links measure 2 by 2.5 millimeters. In any case, if you have different kind of chain, it's not that difficult to do. You just have to put it on a jump ring temporarily and see how it hangs. And then you can decide whether you need to remove some links or use a longer piece. But that does take time, I'm not going to lie. But anyway, this beautiful long shell component and the beads all came in the bag. Of course, the earwire hook and the jump ring did not. And that's a 4mm jump ring. And both of these are also 18 karat gold plated. Of course, you're going to need some ball head pins for the dangles and a piece of wire for this bead. I'm going to be using 22 gauge wire, and it's in a gold color. So we're going to mount this bead first. Let me take some of these items away. Sometimes when I have too much on the mat, my camera doesn't focus. I'll put these off to the side for the time being. I have a piece of 22 gauge wire, and this is a fairly long piece because I'm going to be doing some wrap loops. So I'm going to grab it at about right here, which is a little bit more than 1/3 of the way down. Bend it, reposition my pliers like this, wrap the tail around the nose of the pliers, flip the pliers around, and continue to wrap to the back. So there's my first loop, and it is kind of small at this end. The other end is going to have a bigger loop. So now I'm going to grab the loop like this with these pliers. I love using these for this purpose because they have skinny tips. And now with these pliers, I'm going to grab the tail and I'm going to do a couple of wraps. With flush cutters, I'm going to cut off the excess wire. And of course, I need to tuck the little tail in. That's important. So now I'm going to grab the bead and slide it on like that. With my round nose pliers, I'm going to grab the wire right where the bead is, bend it, reposition my pliers, and I want this one to be a little bit bigger. So I'm going to move my wire down the barrels like this, wrap the tail around, flip the pliers around, continue to wrap to the back. Then we open up this loop and slide my component into it. Just like that. Grab the loop, grab the tail, and do a couple of wraps. I do want my loops to be perpendicular. Let me cut off the excess wire. Tuck the little end in. Let me straighten this loop a little bit. So that's what we have so far. Pretty easy. And now we're going to make some dangles. Let me move this out of the way for the time being. Here's one of the beads. I have a ball head pin. I'm going to slide the bead onto the ball head pin, like so. Grab it with my round nose pliers, like this. Bend it, reposition my pliers, and I want this loop to be kind of small, so I'm near the tip of my pliers. Wrap the tail around, flip the pliers around, continue to wrap to the back. I'm going to open up this loop. Let me get the chain. I'm going to work off the spool. I'm not going to cut it just yet. This is the easiest way to do this. I'm going to slide my pin through the last link, and my cat just stopped by to say hi. Let me move him. He gets very needy. So I'm going to slide the last link into the loop like this. I like doing it like this because I have something to hold on to. And now I'm going to grab the loop, grab the tail, and do a couple of wraps. I'm going to go ahead and cut off the excess, if Boo Boo will let me. And of course, you need to tuck the little end in. And I believe this one has 11 links, this dangle. So let me count 11 links. I definitely don't want to mess this one up. I believe I have to cut this one right here. Okay, Boo Boo. He's very, very needy these days. I'm not sure what's going on with him. Well, I know what's going on. He's not well. He's got kidney disease. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, let me fix my camera here. So here's my first dangle. Pretty simple, once you know how many links you need. And I went ahead and did the other ones off camera. Actually, this is the one that has the 11 links. This one should only have 4. So let me remove some. I need to snip this one off. There we go. And the third bead only has 1 link, so I need to remove 2 because there are 3 there. I know it's silly, but I tried doing 3 and it was too long, so then I decided on just having 1. This one didn't come off. Let me try again. They're so tiny. I don't know if you can see it, but there's only 1 little link there. I know it's hard to see. Here's my earring. I actually had to redo it because I had forgotten to add the seed bead. If you'll notice, this one has a seed bead at the top. I completely forgot about that. But anyway, through the magic of video editing, I was able to redo it. Here's my earwire hook. Let me put this one over here because I want to mirror the beads. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, this shell pendant or component does not mirror that one. They're the same shape as you can see. There's nothing I can do about that, unfortunately, but it's so subtle you can barely notice it. But I do want to mirror the beads. So here's my 4mm jump ring. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to slide this one on first. Let's see if I can find that little link. There we go. And now this one. And now this one. Just like that. And now the pendant, or the earring I should say, and I'm going to hang it this way. Just like that. Let me close it. Make sure you check it from all angles. So now my dangles are attached. I think it looks really cute. And now let me open up this loop of this earwire hook. Let me flip it. It should be this way. As you can see, you definitely want this facing the front. And now I'm going to close this loop. So there we go. A very pretty pair of earrings. I hope you like them as much as I do, and I hope you can make your own. As always, I'd like to go ahead and put these on for you. Thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you again. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.